I procrastinated on my YouTube channel for years, and no matter how badly I wanted to be a full-time content creator, I just couldn't take action on my goals, and I felt so ashamed as my dreams were slowly slipping away, leading me to live a life of pain and regret. But fortunately, I was able to solve this issue by discovering a step-by-step system that allowed me to post my videos consistently on YouTube and help make my dreams come true, and I'm going to share it with you right now. So let's get started. So step one, this all starts with you choosing to change and grow. You cannot undo the habits in your mind if you do not choose to change them and to grow. You will not be the same person when you decide to change these fundamental subconscious wirings in your mind that cause you to procrastinate and to not reach your goals. You must choose to become a different person, a better version of you that can actually live the life that you want to live. That's step one. But, I had goals and I had consumed hundreds of hours of knowledge and had no clue what to do with it, okay? So the first problem that you're going to encounter is that even though you're watching all of these YouTube videos and learning all of these things and listening to all these gurus and consuming all of these books, sometimes applying it is very, very difficult. And not knowing how to set things up in a sequence of events and actually execute the knowledge that you've learned is the next barrier that you're going to encounter. And the solution for this that I found is to actually start with play. And what do I mean by this? You don't put all of the stress of performance on yourself in the beginning. You actually categorize it as playtime. So I am going to try this new thing that I learned about content creation or building my business. Instead of saying, oh, I have to do this and then I have to achieve these results, don't attach any sort of results to you doing the task. Make it as playtime. This will allow your mind to be stress-free and actually take the adventure and start learning and being free-flowing in understanding this activity. And what this will do is it'll actually help your brain create categories, which will then make it easier for you to insert knowledge into your mind once you have categories that allow you to organize it. And then once you have the ability to organize the knowledge, you can start layering in new skills in those categories and building up your skills through practice. But inevitably, even when I had that, I would still find that the when to do the work, the when to play was still difficult for me. My day would still get away from me, especially if I have a 9-to-5 job. And, do I do it at 5 a.m. before I go to work, or do I do it after? 5 a.m. I feel a little tired, but after work I also feel tired. And so, which one's the best? I went back and forth for so long. And, this would lead to the whole day just going by without me getting anything done at all. So this very, very important that you figure this out. And the number one solution for me was actually planning my day the night before. No gimmicks, no hacks, no cold showers, no journaling, no sauna, no eating your meals at this time. And it doesn't matter. I don't care if you do the work before you go to work or in the middle of the day or right before you go to bed. I don't care. There's pros and cons to each. You have to know yourself and pick one that works for you. And so, for example, if you do all the work before bed, well, how much energy do you have? Are you tired? Can you do the work? But if you wake up at 5 a.m., are you going to have enough energy to do it then? Can you do it as soon as you get home from work? Right? And so you kind of just have to plug and play and figure it out as you go along. And so once you figure it out, when you want to do the work. And so once you figured out when to schedule your tasks throughout the day, and again, it can be at any time, and by all means, feel free to experiment. Do it in the morning one day, and then the evening and the next day. It doesn't matter. What matters is the results. But the next thing that you're going to encounter, that I encountered that really threw me for a loop, the next thing that you're going to encounter is that the most resistance to doing the work is right before the activity. You ever notice when you want to start doing something, you feel most nervous just before doing it, and then as soon as you start doing it, oh, it's fine? Right. So we need to find a way to counteract that. or else all of this planning will be for waste. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Remove distractions. You can use, some apps to remove distractions. But mainly, at the end of the day, I find that apps don't usually work for me because I know I can disable them. Like, if I really want to binge watch YouTube videos for 3 hours, I'm going to. Like, I'm just going to disable the app. And so, having clarity and focus and a real why, establishing your why you're going to do this and why it's important for you to start this side hustle, this business, or this YouTube channel, let that drive you. And then when you get right before the task, here's what we want to do instead. You need to do the rule of 5, okay? I take 2 rules of 5 and put them together. So basically, what you're going to have is you're going to have the first 5 minutes and you're going to have countdown from 5. You're going to tell yourself you're only going to do the first 5 minutes. And then you're going to count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you're just going to start doing the most basic, simple tasks right in the beginning for 5 minutes. This is made even easier when the night before you actually write out the baseline, bare, simple tasks, such as open Photoshop, bring in photo elements, and start sizing. Right? It can be as simple as that, but I promise you, the easier it is for you to get started, the easier it is for you to obtain momentum and actually go through with the task that you said you were going to do. This is so, so important. I cannot emphasize this enough. Tell yourself you're just going to do the 5 minutes, count down from 5, and make sure the night before, when you're planning out when you're going to do the task, write out in detail what the first 2, maybe 3 very, very simple steps are, such as clicking open the browser or closing YouTube and opening the Word document, whatever it is. Write that out and just start doing that. You'll find that momentum kicks up almost instantaneously. Literally in less than 5 minutes, you'll feel okay and you'll be able to keep going. It works incredibly well. I'm doing it right now. Another thing that you can do in the broader scheme of things is actually have sponge tasks. So for example, if you have writing a YouTube script for 1 hour between, 5 and 6, but you're not quite sure if you're going to be able to finish dinner and get the kids away before 5, what you can have is another task after that, such as replying to comments on Facebook in your Facebook community for your business. You can make that a sponge task. So you're going to try to get to work on your script at 5. But if you don't, say you only get there at 5:20, what you do is you take that hour and you move it back by 20 minutes. And so you still have an hour. And the sponge task, get this, squishes down in size like a sponge. And so now you only have 40 minutes for writing comments in your Facebook posts, right? So you have the most important task, and then you have a sponge task that can be compressed or expanded based on whether or not you have enough time to complete the most important task, right? So if you're late to the most important task, that's okay. You can just move it up. And then the other task that's less important, it's a sponge task. So it just gets smaller. And you can do this on your Google Calendar. Very easy to do. You can also put a sponge task beforehand if you want to. But you should always start with the most important thing first. And so that's another fun little thing that I do, is that I'll have the most important block of work set for 7 a.m. and then a sponge task for like 2 hours, which is just replying to comments on my school community, which is in the description, which you should totally check out. But if I end up waking up and only getting out of bed at 7:30, that's fine. I'll just take that 3-hour block of time and move it up a bit so that I can get all the most important tasks done in that 3 hours, and the task after that is just compressed, right? And so that's how I do that. But the problem is that sometimes there are days, even after you've done all that, you're just craving relaxation so much. It often feels so difficult to even get started on the work. This is the true war that you have to fight every single day in order to make your dreams come true. So I got you. This solution, of course, will come down to impulse control and building a muscle in your mind making it stronger than ever so that even when you feel like not doing the work and you want to go do something else, the solution to this is just building up the muscle in your mind of impulse control. And how do we do this? Repetition, repetition, repetition. How do you get stronger muscles? You lift weights, right? And so when you're doing a task and you're in it, right? And you're 20 minutes in and it's just like, oh, it's so boring. You want to pick up your phone and doom scroll TikTok or Facebook or something else and, get a little bit of dopamine relief. And it's your impulses, right? You just, I got to get up my phone. Honestly, you can use apps to block stuff, sure. I don't have social media on my phone. I just have YouTube and I don't use the other ones. You can put your phone farther away, but the best thing that actually works is practice and just waiting a little bit longer. So you know what? If you can actually make it a game where you track how long you can wait before getting distracted and going and doing something else. And so if you can only make it 10 minutes, fine. Set a goal for 12. And each time you push just a little bit farther. Right? If you're editing a YouTube video and it's so boring, you just want to get up and go watch Facebook or TikTok, push a little harder. Set a timer. And once you feel that urge to stop doing the task and go and get some dopamine and feel good about yourself, maybe get a snack or distract yourself with YouTube or whatever, set a timer for like another 5 minutes and resist and push through. That will train your mind to control impulses. And you'll find that if you do this consistently every single day, your need to stop working or not start at all actually goes down and you actually have the strength to push through because you made it a game. You made it a challenge. I recommend you build a leaderboard. Make a whole list of how long you've managed to go without getting up and checking your phone, without opening YouTube, whatever your distraction is. Start competing against yourself to see how long you can go. Sooner or later, you're going to realize that you can go an entire hour, not even look at your phone, and you'll be like, what? And it's going to be epic, but that's how you do it. It's practice, repetition. Push the muscle of willpower a little bit further every single time, and it will work. But the next problem that you're going to encounter is that sometimes, even when you have a good system in place, you still have limiting beliefs that stop you from taking action. You're still afraid of failure. You're still afraid to be publicly humiliated when building your business. And don't worry, I got a solution for that too. It's in this video right here. I highly recommend it. You check it out. This is going to give you the proper mental framework that I wish I knew 6 years ago that would have saved me 6 years of my life and made me a millionaire by now. The solution is right here. It's incredibly simple, but you need to understand it in order to make use of everything that I just shared you.